Everyone, welcome to the show. I have a story to share with you guys. This is not breaking news, but it's unfolding as I speak. So I will have updates for you on this, but this is about a fire that destroyed a judge's home. I think it was her vacation home. I'm not 100% on that, but I believe that it was $1.5 million home, as you see here, on a lake. And this was the home of Circuit Court Judge Diane Goodstein. So she was luckily out walking her dogs when her lakefront home burst into flames. Unfortunately, her husband, who's 81 years old, he was there. Their son was there, their adult son. Other people were in the house at the time of the fire. So some of them had to jump from second-story windows. And so some of her family sustained injuries. They said her husband had to be airlifted to a hospital. Her son and a third person who they didn't name in reports, but they said that they both had to be taken to the emergency room. So the reason this story is a big deal is because Judge Goodstein recently presided over a case involving voter registration. So specifically, the Justice Department, Trump's Justice Department, was demanding that South Carolina officials relinquish the personal data of 3.3 million voters. So what they were asking for was not just voter information, not just like, hey, how did they vote? They wanted people's names, their addresses, their birth dates, their driver's license numbers, and the last four digits of their social security numbers. So on September 2nd, Goodstein ruled against them. She ruled against Trump's Justice Department in that matter. Ultimately, her decision was overturned by their state Supreme Court, but she was receiving death threats because of her ruling. So for weeks in advance of this fire at her property, she was receiving death threats. So I have this here to show you. So this was 100% incited by Trump's administration because nobody would have known about this, right? Like his supporters would not have been following this case so closely, but Trump's assistant attorney general, a woman named Harmeet Dillon, she posted on Twitter, quote, "This at Justice Department, at Civil Rights will not stand for a state court judge's hasty nullification on our federal voting laws. I will allow nothing to stand in the way of our mandate to maintain clean voter rolls." So, of course, MAGA reacted to that post with calls for violence. Like you see here in the headline of this, one Twitter user replied, quote, "Rain holy hellfire onto these judges who interfere with the executive branch." Now, that MAGA supporter who wrote that post, they've now deleted their entire Twitter account. Wonder why, right? Sure, investigators can still find it. Sure, they can subpoena Twitter and get those records. To be fair, and to give you guys the full picture, the preliminary investigation doesn't show any evidence of arson. So this just came out today. According to local law enforcement who's investigating this, they said that there was no explosion prior to the fire. I mentioned that because that was what was reported. You know, this happened, I believe, on Saturday of this past weekend. So over the weekend, there were a lot of reports that came out saying, oh, there was this explosion and then there was a fire. And so, you know, and it completely wiped out their home. So just to be clear, like everything's gone. House burned to the ground, everything inside of it gone, family members injured. So as of now, they're saying, doesn't look like arson, was no explosion, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So like I said, I'll keep you posted on this, whether or not this was and, just a mistake, somebody, accidentally set fire in the house, or whether this was a targeted attack and arson, the fact remains that threats against judges in this country have been skyrocketing 100% as a result of Donald Trump and his minions tweeting out, threatening them, complaining about them, putting targets on their backs. So it is no big surprise that the judges receiving threats from the public all have to do with Donald Trump cases, and are all judges that Donald Trump and his team have been targeting in social media posts. Not a coincidence. So anyway, guys, I'll let you know what I find out and what transpires. If there's any there. If it is arson, I will definitely let you know. So thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. If you can donate, I truly appreciate it. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.